Welcome to Two Letters Reactions. I'm your host Tasha, and today we're going to be watching Boku no Hero Academia Season 3, Episode 22. So, on the last episode, we finally had some understanding of what the conflict was between Midoriya and Inasa. So we found out that Inasa had looked up to Endeavor, to Shoto's father, and Endeavor was basically just mean to him. Little Inasa was a huge fan and took up something to get a signature, and Endeavor was like, puh, and knocked it away. And so we got to see what that history was, and then when Inasa, when he eventually met Shoto, which they were still younger, it was prior to them getting into their respective schools. We also found out that Shoto was also kind of rude to Inasa, but it was because Inasa had brought up Endeavor. And of course we know that Shoto didn't like Endeavor. He didn't like his own father. So anyway, we kind of got all that history hashed out in the last episode. And then, yeah, we're kind of just left on a cliffhanger. We were about to find out like who had passed the test, and at this point, I'm kind of conflicted about whether I want all of UA to pass or not. Like, on the one hand, yeah, I want them all to succeed. But on the other hand, realistically, I'm like, it would make more sense to me if a few of them don't. But I got a weird feeling they'll all pass. So I guess let's find out. Here we go. Okay, like I secretly, yes, I want to see them fight, but not under these circumstances. Like, I don't know, because I feel like it's Kachan's way of, I don't know, trying to prove that he's still on top or whatever, when he's not really thinking about it in terms of, like, it doesn't have to be this either or scenario, you know, like they both can be really powerful and they both could do so much good together rather than trying to put each other down, you know. I mean, that exchange needed to happen ever since he brought it up with All Might when Bakugo had asked All Might on that episode a while ago. I knew this would come up again, you know, and that's part of writing, you know, writing a show like this, is that you also, the creator, you want to have something like that occur. You want to have those questions answered and have everything out in the open. And I think the way that this came about is logical. Like, it makes sense, and it was the timing felt right. I just want Bakugo to be the bigger person at some point. And maybe his reasoning is going to be different. Maybe we'll hear in the next episode that it's not about, like, putting Midoriya, I want to prove that I'm more powerful than you. Maybe that's not going to be his motivation. I'm hoping not. I'd like to think he's moved past that a little bit. I just don't know what other reason he wants to fight for. You know, I don't know. Maybe they could find some really unique way, unusual way to maybe turn it around. Like, he's gonna, I don't know, maybe he's doing it to boost Midoriya up, like to show him that, look how far you come. Although that's not really in Bakugo's character, you know, he's not really he doesn't usually give other people the limelight. The only person he's done that for was Kaminari, where he trusted him enough to take out that one student. But I don't know. Now I'm actually just curious to see where it's going from there. The only other note that I took was just about how, I don't know, like, I finally processed on this episode how Inasa did not attend UA, right? Like, he was invited to go to UA and he turned it down. And the reason he turned it down was because of a grudge that he had against Endeavor and Shoto. Like, I don't know. It was something that kind of, it didn't puzzle me. Like, on the one hand, I understand it, but at the same time, I'm like, you would choose because of how, because of the feelings that you harbored for someone, that you were, angry at them, or, felt that they were phony. So you don't go to what's considered like the best hero school. Wouldn't the thought have been like to count? I don't know. Wouldn't you have gone there then to like one up Shoto kind of thing? I just find it so strange that he turned down UA and went to a different school because of how he felt toward Endeavor. And maybe, I don't know, maybe one of you guys can shed a little bit more light on that. I don't know. It just sort of stood out to me, and I was like, it's kind of odd. Like, I get it on the one hand, but I also find it really strange. Other than that, I actually enjoyed this one. And I, obviously, the ending there with Bakuto, oh dear, Bakugo and Midoriya. Been waiting for that for a while, so I'm really curious just to see how it plays out. I guess a lot of it depends on Bakugo's answer, where Midoriya had asked him at the end, "What are you going to do with that information?" So how this, proceeds from here is going to really depend on what his answer is. Anyway, so I will see you guys at episode 23.